This afternoon, I just wanted to relate 4 real-life events in your lives and certainly in my own life. The first event, of course, is something we're all familiar with, a wedding. We've all been to weddings before, and I especially want you to concentrate on that part during the wedding where either the father or the mother, or maybe both of the bride, give the bride away, as we say. And that moment of departure between the parents and the child, or the parents and the bride in this case. And maybe sometimes they do this with the groom as well, with the departing between the groom and his parents. So that's the first event I want to relate to and I want to focus on. Marriage. The second event is when parents get together and they have a small child and they're trying to teach the child to walk. And so one parent sits at one end of the room and the other at the other, and they kind of send the child on its own to reach the parent on the other side. And of course the child usually falls and there's a lot of crying involved and so on. So that's the second event. The third event is related to the second one, a mother or father placing their child on a school bus for the first time. They're off to school, this is a separation now, they're not staying at home anymore, and of course there are all kinds of tears there, especially on the part of the child, but also on the part of the parent, who for the first time is kind of experiencing this separation with their child in a very real way. And the last one has to do with something, especially this month and next month, that we're going to be dealing with a lot, and that's graduations, especially university or college graduations, and especially during the valedictorian address. There are a lot of tears among all the friends that you have gotten to know over the years in university or in college, and now there's going to be another separation once again. So those 4 incidences and those 4 events. Now, today's gospel has to do with an event in the life of Jesus and the church where it almost seemed like he himself was separating himself from the rest of the church. We call this day the Ascension, and it seemed that he disappeared from their sight, as the gospel says. And the apostles were devastated by this. And just like the little child who falls and feels that the parents have abandoned him and will not help him in his need, or just like the little child who's put on a bus and it seems like his mother or father don't really care about them anymore. Or about the young person who's getting married, and it seems like for the first time now, they're being separated permanently from their family. And finally, in the graduation, that you'll never see those friends again. Of course, that's not what happens in real life, is it? Just like it didn't happen in the life of the church. Jesus did not abandon them. It looked like that to the apostles, and some of them thought that way. And it seemed like he was gone and he would never be with them again. But he wasn't. He was always with them. So why did he have to ascend to his Father? Why did he do that? Why didn't he stay with the apostles longer? Because unless he let them go and do it on their own, they would always be relying on him for his instructions, for his talks, for his advice. And that was all good during the time that he was with them. But now they had to do it on their own. And if he had not left, they would never have grown up, if you will, a grown-up church. And so, just like the child feels that the parents have abandoned him, or that the family is no longer together and so on, all those events that we talked about, in the same way, Jesus is still with us. And we must remember one last instruction of Jesus that he said to them before he ascended, that I will be with you all days until the end of time. And so let's console ourselves with that promise that Jesus made to us. He's with us in many different ways in the church today. He has not abandoned us, but he wants us to be him now in the world. That's what Ascension Sunday is really all about. God bless you.